Hey guys.
And this is going to be episode 6 of Vladimir the Terrible, and we're going to continue on with what we've been doing. And we have Vladimir on two, looks like 5-10 and 3-6 PLO six-handed tables, and we're going to walk you guys through as he plays.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find deep tables like usual. And Broseph, the guy from the last session, was online, but looks like he quit, which should speed up the game quite a bit.
Definitely.
Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna stick to this two tables. So, actually got another table. Yeah, I have one more table, which I will bring in if anything happens. So here we have auto post, so whatever, just gonna raise.
It's a nice hand to get when you
Yeah,
auto post.
yes, yes. On the left, it's not great, but yeah, let's see. This godlike guy seems like godlike Roy. He's been playing with me. I have him marked as a weaker player.
Right.
So,
The table on the right, I would imagine, is going to turn out to be really soft just based on the
yeah,
fact that
the
four of the
stacks.
other players are not topping off right now.
Yeah. Right. This on the right. What do you actually, I mean, if people limp the small blind, like if this Krondix guy would have limped, in no limit, like you usually punish limpers by raising the big blind, and people usually just used to call, and then some people actually started to limp small blind and limp re-raise you, so they don't get raised every time. But in Omaha, it seems like it doesn't make sense to raise the big blind if they limp in the small blind because you just bleed the pot and the equity is running so much closer together um, compared to no limit.
That's that's usually going to be true, and people are also not going to open complete the small blind and fold. They're almost always going to just
Yeah,
limp call if you raise. So it's purely going to be a value play if you decide to raise in that spot. And the hand that you had there, I would usually raise
yeah,
ace
okay,
queen 9-4 with a suited ace,
yeah.
small blind versus big blind.
Um,
But if you have some sort of a trashy hand, you're definitely not going to raise
just
just for the sake
check
of
and
raising.
see bet the flop if he's checking and stuff. Yeah. Um,
Right.
so
This hand
this,
on the right, I would usually just fold pre-flop under the gun. It's
yeah,
really uncoordinated. It looks a lot better because it's double suited, but I
yeah,
mean, queen 8 5-3 is not that good. You have a
yeah.
suit to a queen.
And this is like a flop. It looks like the flop monster in the limit terms, but it, I mean, if he had king high flush draw, it would be monster, I assume.
Right, with a king high flush draw, this is a really good flop.
Yeah. So we just gonna, I guess, like just c betting is best. 48, 48 looks good. Um, and we have a, I mean, we flopped a gutshot as well. I guess we have to go if the short stack goes all in. We have to go with
Right.
the hand. I mean, I don't even know. Isn't it pretty close? We have like flush draw, gut shot, pair. It's unlikely anybody has aces, so it's deuce tray or 4-4.
Against the short stack, I don't think it's close. I mean, he can just have a wrap or something like that, which you're decently ahead of. You're
Yeah.
flipping against two pair there, and he's pretty much going to shove any two pair in right there. Um, he can
Against
even just
Lou
have like
guys, a Lou with a full stack. He seems fishy as well, but doesn't rebuy. But I guess
against the
it's
full
closer.
stack. I think it gets close. You might have to fold it because pretty much the best case scenario for you is you're going to be flipping if he has two pair, and some percentage of the time he's definitely going to have the king high flush draw. You're going to be in
Yeah.
really bad shape against that.
So if you get raised, there is no way you just call. I mean, we like know which outs are good. I mean, spade might be unclear unless it's a king of spades that's coming.
Right. I would just fold if he
Okay,
check
okay.
raises
So
there.
like even this position you just muck because your outs are somewhat obvious if a deuce hits or a spade, you're just not gonna make more money but only lose more if he's got the king high flush draw.
It's not so much that they're obvious, it's just that neither of them are to the nuts for one thing, and on top of that, um, he's gonna have the king high flush draw some of the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you're just gonna lose even more money.
Yeah, and he's gonna pot the turn usually, and if we miss, we have to fold the turn so much, so we never get to see the river.
Right.
Okay.
Looks like this guy Thousandaire is playing
Yeah,
on a bunch of tables right now.
yeah, I remember him from No Limit. He's still Supernova. Um, I don't know. I haven't seen him playing No Limit. I haven't seen him playing at all. I think he used to be grinding a lot back then. Maybe he like quit poker for a while and came back.
Right.
Maybe he switched to Omaha now. So here I'm just opening. I know it's a bad hand, but this guy is tied, and I mean he is a short stack, so maybe just folding is best because he's gonna call and then like check call any flop. Usually, we don't have as much fold equity pause flop in Omaha as we do in No Limit, I guess. Like on unless it's a super dry board.
I think you have about the same fold equity. I mean, people's fold to c-bet on the flop percentages are pretty similar across both games, so I wouldn't necessarily say you have less fold equity post flop. Um, you might be able to barrel him on the turn too. I
Yeah,
think that hand is pretty borderline. If it was a little bit worse, I'm definitely folding. A little bit better, I'm pretty much never folding.
yeah,
I'm probably opening that hand. You have a really tight small blind, even though the short
yeah.
stack is probably going to be fishy.
Yeah. What do you make of like the rule to be able to call any three bet in on Omaha? I feel like this hand is really crappy. Just queen high flush draw, deuce and tray is really crappy as well. So like folding is fine, I guess. Folding, people don't seem to three bet a light out of position anyway too much in Omaha, so folding is fine, especially six max.
Definitely, there's no way I'm calling a three bet with that hand. It's just very uncoordinated, and it's going to play very poorly.
Yeah. Say somebody's three betting a really tight range, so you don't really know if you know he only three bets aces, and of course you can call whatever because you just know if you flop top two that you're fine. But like say you know he's three betting really like only top 5%, only three betting 5%, and he has rundowns as well in his range. Would you like say you fold more on a button, or do you still defend the same range in
Um, I might
position?
I might defend a different range. But I'm generally going to fold a little bit more if they're three betting a tighter range. Against like a really aggressive three better, you're pretty much not going to fold a hand in
Yeah,
position like ace
yeah,
queen jack six or something like that. But
yeah,
against the really 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 tight three better, you can just fold a hand like that because
yeah,
you're really likely to be dominated on a lot of the flops that you hit really well.
yeah. Look at this guy flop two sets. Wow. So we are opening this, even though it's like, I mean, it's double suit. I would just, you rather have a seven instead of two eights, right? So like ace eight seven five is a better hand.
Right. They're both definitely good enough to play here though, double suited.
Okay. So he is fishy. I mean, I'm just gonna actually just backdoor flush draw. Eight. We got two eights, so he doesn't have like eight nine. Just gonna bet the flop, just bet fold. Given we have, I don't know if it really matters that we have two eights. So I mean, he's got less draws that he can peel with. We got backdoor flush draw. Um, I guess check folding if you don't have blockers to some draws is fine. But here, I mean, he is King Jack, he can still have Jack 9, he can have. I guess check folding the flop is even fine. And he can have like Queen Jack, like 9
Yeah,
7.
if you didn't have the backdoor nut flush draw, I'd
Yeah,
probably check folding there. But with the backdoor nut flush draw, I think you
it's
can bet
fine.
there.
Yeah.
You can also bluff if a seven comes.
Yeah,
Eight's
we
be
can
a
have
pretty
it.
good card for you too.
Yeah. So here we are just raising. Pretty good hand. Snap calling way better table than the last episode. I'm gonna check fold this, so it's multi-way, just too likely they have like Queen Jack at least, or like Jack 8 or similar hands now. Looks like um I just don't want to get jammed on by this short stack, so I'm just gonna still check. We have like showdown value, and we can even check calls a turn. I'm not sure about check calling the turn. I feel like it's still fine, given we have 13 outs to the nuts. and we gotta bet the river. So just not gonna bet, and we're gonna bet big. They color. Maybe it's a fold to a big bet. Yeah, I guess he's gonna call 42 almost every time with a straight.
Yeah, I'd probably play that hand the same. You could consider betting the turn right there. Um, Given how deep you are, it's pretty unlikely that someone's going to raise you with King Jack there, so you don't really have to worry too much about that, just because they're pretty much never going to get it in against any hand other than King Jack, and they could be
Yeah.
getting free rolled, so they're usually only going to raise you with King Jack if they have a flush
Oh,
draw or two pair to
yeah.
go along with it.
I was gonna say this is gonna be interesting, but this guy has $8. He's got 200, so you're just all in multi-way.
Yeah, we get to cold four bet aces, but we don't even have to show you
Yeah.
guys what's happening because we're just going to be all
Ah,
in.
look at this. What a bad flop. Oh, what a turn. What a turn. And we still end up losing. Well, it happens. I'm gonna check the. So I raised here like with a somewhat decent hand. We get three, but I don't know what he plays like. I guess defending is even pretty marginal. Let's see. He's tied. Guess you still can. This is I don't really know about this. I feel like if he's tight, I guess folding is fine actually. He just has a deuce. It's double suited, looks better than it is. In position, I would call that full out of position. I guess just avoiding spots like this is probably even the best, unless you have a read on a guy. He's
Oh wow, I would never
you
fold that
never
big blind.
fold.
Deuce seven,
Yeah,
eight
it
ten,
is.
double suited, blind versus blind. I mean, if you're folding that hand to a
Yeah, yeah,
re-raise,
yeah.
it's
I know you're
80% of
folding a
hands.
lot. Yeah, but he is not exploiting you, right? He doesn't know that we fold so much. I mean, I felt like given we have a deuce, I don't like it. If the deuce is a five, does it make the hand much better, or does
Oh,
it?
if the deuce is a five, it's way too good of a hand to even think about folding, even with the
Yeah,
deuce.
even with a deuce, it's still you feel like it's really, really good. I mean, in position, I would defend. I felt like out of position.
No, you have to defend this. You're getting 2 to 1. You have a hand
Yeah,
that
they actually
is
can
going to play
flop the
pretty well.
nuts.
It's
Yeah.
pretty coordinated. It's also double suited. It's unpaired. There's no ace in it.
Yeah. See, I used to defend way more. Now I'm like trying to find a point where what I defend, what I fold. So I'm not too sure. Here we just defended. This is a clear defend, I know. He three bet twice, but I mean he is 18-14 small sample, and then I just mark the flop. Guess we could raise the flop, raise fold. Uh, I don't know. Just folding is okay, I guess.
Yeah, I think folding is fine there. The problem with that flop is he's not bet folding too much.
Yeah,
He's usually going to
but it's
have
coordinated
king
with my.
queen or something to go along with his made hand right there that he's probably just going to stick the money in.
So in like to compare this spot where I folded to no limit, maybe it's like sort of no limit problem. Say you have a guy in a big blind who is like aggressive, and you know he's three betting light and everything, but he's got position, and you have a hand like um, I don't know, maybe like say King 10 offsuit, which is like probably ahead of his range. You could fold just to avoid getting a C bet and then like just flopping air too often. So you just avoid and fold.
I
Um,
think so. I think a hand like ace jack 10-4 with a suited jack and three spades or something like that would be more like a king 10 offsuit type hand that
oh,
I'm fine
okay.
folding against a tight player. This hand, this is like king queen suited. You can't fold this
Yeah.
blind versus blind.
Oh, okay. So here on the left, this is interesting. We might even, hmm. I mean, jamming is like, I guess, okay. Check calling and actually picking up equity is better. He made it so small as well, so I guess check calling is even better because if you get it in and now I'm just potting,
Yeah, I
you
like check
check.
calling there.
Yeah,
Pretty standard.
if you potted the flop, you probably just get it in because then we be like, we might still check call and get it in. So
No, I would definitely check call if he pots the
people,
flop. The reason for that is he's never bet folding, so he's
yeah. So
really
you
just gonna
like,
stick it in. You're not ahead there or
yeah.
anything like
So
that.
this is like
And
what you don't do in no limit at all. In no limit, you are like you just get it in, but in Omaha you take like the somewhat passive fishy line. Um, and check
right,
out because you don't have full equity. No limit, you have full equity.
right. It's pretty much always going to be the correct play to just call there
Yeah,
because you can realize your equity
yeah,
better on
yeah,
certain turn cards that
yeah.
give you two
And you never
pair to
fold
make
the
good
turn.
folds on cards that pair the board or an
Yeah,
offsuit ace or something like that.
yeah, agreed. Agreed. Here on the right, check back the flop. I mean, I should have bet the flop. It's too low cards, so um, they don't really play deuces and fives too much. So actually, yeah, fold equity on the flop. Should have just bet.
Yeah, I would just bet the flop. You have
Uh,
two backdoor flush draws too.
Now, yeah, I was gonna say I'm just gonna. The reason I checked was to like pick up more equity on the turn. Uh, but meh, yeah, should have bet the flop. It's on the left, like I bet it's. What do you say? 10-5 deuce is better than 8-5 deuce. Here's a flush draw. We have a flush draw here as well.
Definitely less draws out there on that,
Yeah,
and also you have a pair.
yeah, just fold this.
Yeah, pretty standard to just fold that.
So about this his play, I mean, what did he have? He bet the flop pretty. I mean, what can you take away from this hand? He bet the flop small because he also had an open ender. So he had pretty much. Actually, he just had king five. Ha! I thought he had pocket kings first, but he had a pair with an open ender on the flop and two backdoor flush draws.
Right. I mean, his play on the flop is pretty standard.
Why did
His
he
play on
bet
the
so
turn is pretty
small?
standard too.
Do you
Just to
like his
probably
size?
just to balance up the
Okay,
hands that he's going to be betting on that flop.
so he's bet getting it in on a flop.
Yes, definitely. With two backdoor flush draws and an open ender and a pair, he's definitely not folding.
Okay. On a turn we potted and he jammed. I mean, I don't know. He should have probably just called and folded rivers, which don't improve his hand because we are
Yeah,
never.
calling is better. He definitely gets to save the
Yeah, it's
two hundred
70.
$70 or whatever.
Yeah. Actually, if you
And
see people doing it in no limit, you go like, "Wow, what a fish!" Called and then folded the river. No,
right, but
nobody
in
does it.
PLO, it's definitely the correct play there.
Yeah,
You get to save that money. He's
yeah,
never going to be ahead on the turn,
yeah,
so it's not like it's a value shove for him,
yeah.
and he's going to
Interesting.
be able to make some good folds on the river.
Yeah, interesting. He was 60. He was ahead on the flop where we had top pair. On the turn, he
Right.
was just behind. So three bet.
Pre-flop also is just a fold with that hand. It's just too weak to three bet. If it was king six five four, you could three bet it double suited, but king five three deuce is just too weak with the small
Yeah,
cards.
let's bring it up again. So there is. What about the thought that he's three bet like sorta as a like semi bluff, like king nine off in a limit in position, you could three bet. You don't like it because in Omaha you just sorta need to bet. You just have so many better hands that you can decide to three bet with, like 6, 7, 8, 9 rainbow and
Ex-
such. So you don't have to take this hand to three bet with.
well, not necessarily 6, 7, 8, 9 rainbow, but 6, 7, 8, 9 with one suit or something like that. But yeah, you can definitely pick better hands to three bet with than this. And
Okay.
on top of that, people's fold to three bet percentage in
So you don't
PLO
have
is
fold
very
equity,
low.
so there is no point in three betting as a semi bluff if you don't have any.
Well, you could build fold equity up on the flop, but they're just better hands to pick to do
Yeah.
that with.
Okay. Yeah, but it looks pretty. Yeah, looks good. As a hand looks good. Here we have a hand. We have two pair. He's short. He's short. I mean, man, I don't know. Like, huh? Like, I'm gonna muck. Actually, maybe look at this. The reason I mucked, I'm gonna explain, is that when we have just small pairs, we get overset it sometimes. But actually, I don't know. If it's 8, 8, 7, 7, you call. But actually, there's so much dead money, you probably have to come along. But I remember somebody saying that I think you told me that like 8, 8 deuce deuce or 7, 7 to deuce, you don't play it.
Right. Pull up the hand history again.
It's
I think it's
still the
lagging
hand.
right
We
now.
would have flopped two sets. So It's active. The hand is active on the left, on the right.
The ace, king, king, seven.
No, no, no. Hold on. Um,
Let me. I'm gonna reconnect to TeamViewer. You want to pause the video? It's
okay.
go. It's lagging like crazy,
Oh, I
and
hope
maybe pull up
it's
the hand
it
if you.
it it is still so now Camtasia is recording. Um, hold on. Yeah. So on the we flop the set, got no money on the turn. Just gonna bluff the turn again.
Definitely
The
just
hand is this actually this is probably hold'em manager is sometimes a little bit difficult. So here against Chronix, I think Chronix played against he played against Magic Ninja in some videos. We can't fold, we just defend, whatever. On the right, he check called. Looks like, I mean, he could have a flush. Can he have a set? He might have a set. He might fold it on a river. Um, just bad 150. I mean, we don't win this hand ever with one pair. Bets a
yeah.
flop.
Just for game theory purposes, whenever you have the
Yeah. If
turn
he's
flush
fishy, so
blocker,
he's
just
fishy.
go
So
chase
maybe
it.
against a fish you don't bet. I don't know. Uh,
Right, and he's got the queen eye flush. Obviously,
yeah,
he's not
he's never
folding that.
folding. So the hand was let me see this one. So what happened was Basila opened and drawing bad called, and he called, and we have 8-8 tray. Look at this. This guy had 8 tray, and we still flopped 2 sets. How unbelievable is that? So do you come along with like, right? So yeah. So this hand,
Yeah,
it
I
may
would
play.
definitely fold that rainbow 8833. I mean, it's
Even
not
if
really
you are
worth
getting
folding.
like 1-5 or whatever, that do the pot odds really matter?
Um, I mean, you can play it on the button. You can play it from the cutoff maybe if you're opening, but
So
I'm not.
coming along, if under the gun opened and like MP called, cutoff called, you still
I wouldn't
fold.
really come along with that hand. I
Okay.
mean, the having a suit with a hand like that is definitely got some value to it
Yeah.
because now when you flop a set and a flush draw, if you get oversetted, you have still a
You have
decent equity to get
eight
all
eight
in.
seven seven. You come along though because you can pick up
Yeah,
a banana as well. Okay. Yes. I
right.
made.
8877 is much better than this.
Yeah. Okay. So here, I mean, I'm gonna mark this on left. Oh, Krondix is from Russia. I didn't know that. Let's see. Yeah, he's playing like 10 tables, so he's probably not gonna make too many moves, especially in Omaha.
Yeah,
Do you think people are capable of under like if somebody is playing 2 tables no limit, especially if somebody is playing 1 table heads up, people just in no limit, people just usually go psycho. They try to outplay you so badly because they're focusing. So if somebody is playing 10 tables no limit, they are not bluffing as much. They still can, but not as much. Do you think it's similar in Omaha, or would you say in Omaha you need to focus even more? Um, on what you're doing, given you have 4 cards, and like you have to double check sometimes what's going on.
I think it requires a little more focus. That's definitely one of the reasons. Obviously, 4 cards versus 2 cards, they're just more to look
Yeah,
at.
yeah,
Um, on top of that, you're also going to be playing more pots in PLO than you are in No Limit, and a lot of the fishier players are going to be playing even more pots. So you're going to get into
yeah. You
way
have
more
so much more
multi-pot
going on.
situations that you obviously have to focus on a little bit more than just your typical heads-up pot.
Yeah, in No Limit, you sort of can grind. You just fold so much in Omaha. You like play way more hands, so you time out more.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we just had some lag issues. Hope it's still fine on the video.
Yeah, it looks like it's running pretty smoothly now. The 8653 is pretty close to an open from the cutoff.
On the left?
On the left that you folded earlier, yeah. If it was a little bit bigger, I'm definitely opening it. Obviously, if 3 is a 4, you're definitely going to be playing it also.
Okay.
From the button, you're definitely going to play that
Yeah,
hand.
yeah. This hand, like, yeah, if you have like, if the sixes were pocket nines, do you call or do you still fold?
I'm probably still folding just because it's a rainbow hand. If it's something like Jack Jack 10-9, I probably call.
So
With a pair
higher
of
really
jacks, right,
matters.
higher.
Yeah.
Matters a little bit. I mean, that hand's close to being able to call it if you have 8, 9, 9, 10. So
Um,
a little bit bigger probably
yeah. Does it matter
tips
to
the
you
scale for
if
me.
it's cap, if it's a cap game, or if it's 100 BB or 200 BB? To me, it feels like in cap you can call more because you just stick it in. Given you don't have too much money behind, you don't have to worry. Like, uh, or is it just the same issue?
I'd say in a cap game, you're probably folding that hand more just because you have to flop a set or a wrap to comfortably be able to get all in there, or top two pair trips or something like that, and you're just gonna be seeing way too many flops that you're folding on to be able
In
to
cap
turn a
games?
profit. Right.
Okay, I felt like in cap you like can defend more. So yeah, here I defend it. Think the guy on the button is fishy. Um, I was gonna three bet, but then if the eight was a 10, do you three bet or do you still fold? Given you have no suit. Um,
Right. Rainbow, I would just not, I'm never putting any more money in the pot. I might
so you
complete the small
fold.
blind, but that's it. Yeah, I would fold.
If the
And
eight
then
is
what
a
would
10,
be
you also fold.
the 8 to 10? I also fold. You're out
Oh,
of
really?
position. Just a
Okay.
rainbow.
In position,
And
you call.
in position, rainbow, I'm still folding that hand.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know.
Something like ace, king, queen, jack or so, you can probably call, but
Yeah. So people are getting super tight in Omaha now. Look how bad the games are. I was gonna say it's still fine. I don't know, Magic Ninja taught me wrong. He said like any hand nine and higher, your first pump re-raise. So um,
I wouldn't say it's wrong or anything. I mean, I'm sure it's just very slightly plus or
yeah,
minus
yeah,
even.
you
It's one of
probably
those
want to
hands that
avoid
probably is
variance.
0.01 or minus 0.01
Yeah,
in terms of the BB per 100 that you're going to be making with that hand. So
yeah,
it's not a big mistake either way, but I would be folding it just from my experience with rainbow hands and how they play in PLO.
yeah. So here on the left, this is interesting. So we bet the flop with a wrap and a pair. I also bet the turn, figuring he might raise queen 10, but that's it. He called again. I just don't know what he has. I mean, like six. I just don't want to really bluff. I feel like he's calling down with two pair. Too bad timing is so. Six, six, eight. Actually, we're gonna bluff the river.
I
Uh,
like bluffing the river there.
I don't know, like queen 10, he jams the turn. He raises. I don't know if we are deep, so I don't know if he's raising queen 10 on the turn. He might have like 5, 6 on the turns that he's coming along, that he's calling one more. So 5,
Yeah,
6 missed.
yeah, but there are very few combos of 5-6 he can have here. He has to have a really specific four card 5-6 on the flop to be able to call the flop.
Okay, so
So
what do you put him on here? Queen. He doesn't have a jack, so he probably like has, I mean, ace,
I
king,
mean something
queen.
like, yeah, something like ace king queen
With a
makes a lot of sense
flush draw
with
big part of his
with like a
range.
non-nut flush draw or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, that would make a lot of sense. Although that hand is going to raise the flop a good amount of the time when it has a flush draw with it.
yeah.
Um, he could have something like, I mean, even though you have two jacks, he can still have a jack in his
Ace.
hand.
Wow. Well, I mean, I guess what he was thinking about. I mean, we are not betting too thinly on a river for value, even though, what do you bet on a river for value here?
I would bet queen 10 plus for sure.
Yeah, he called with aces. He also had the nut flush draw. Isn't it like even a worse call given he's blocking all the draws we are double, triple barreling with?
I think his thinking here was, oh, I have the six blockers, and he's not going to value bet anything other than a
Yeah,
straight.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let me call. But in reality, you're value betting pretty much top two pair
Yeah.
plus. It's not that bad of a call. All of the
Yeah,
straight
he did
draws
three bet
more or less
pre-flop. I
bricked.
don't get it. Why didn't he three bet double suited aces with two, actually ace six six?
Yeah, I think it's a really
Because
bad play to flat that hand first time around. If you have sort of mediocre single suited aces or rainbow aces, it's fine to just flat there because if someone squeezes, you get to put a lot of money in with a four bet. But given how deep you guys are, flatting double suited aces there is just not good. You just
Yeah,
want to build the pot every single time. It's just
yeah.
such a strong hand. Um, with a double pair and two suits right there,
He's got
you're
so
pretty
much
much gonna he's gonna flop either
a
a
set
nut
or a
flush
flush
or
draw.
a set half the time.
Yeah. So he's like always has a hand he can put the money in.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Here he flopped. Look at this. He's flopping huge every time. The guy flopped huge. Nah, not huge, but like. Let's see if he three bet this hand. I think he did. Yeah, now he. Oh, he four bet. He min four bet.
Min four bet. Interesting.
What is he to bet? He's supernova. I mean, I thought he's not too fishy. Here I'm three betting kings. It's not like a fantastic kings, but actually like calling and like calling and hoping somebody's this Macy guy who's three betting a lot three bets so we can four bet. It's probably an idea. I don't know 100 BB. I don't know if that's too thin. Um, and I think I'm just check folding the 150. No, actually 150. So
It's pretty thin to flat here and then back raise four bet,
yeah,
but the main reason that I would just three bet here is it just plays so
to
much
ISO,
better.
to ISO.
You're
Yeah.
you get a heads up pot a decent amount of the time, um,
No.
and button's probably going to be raising wide range
Yeah,
here too.
actually, I just pot get it in here, like 150. He's got for 7 because I mean 5-6. Oh, I just saw, yeah, 5-6. Oh, this is so ugly. Maybe we can. Oh, we don't have backdoor flush draw. I guess I'm check folding. I don't really know. I guess this is like 5-6. I'm just gonna be drawing that sometimes too much, or I'm flipping, which I don't like at all.
This is a pretty close spot. What I would probably do here is lead out and then fold if
But
the
they get it
guy
in with 7, 8, 9,
fold if the
10.
big blind raises you and probably get it in if the button
Oh
raises
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Just because the button's gonna raise you with any pair.
No, I'm check folding now. Yeah, if it's like 4 trade deuce, it's an easy get it in, or if it's 3, 4, 8, so no mate straight on a flop.
Well, four trade deuce, there are two straights out there that you have to worry about.
No, no, no,
Um,
7 trade deuce I meant.
right, yeah, seven trade deuce is
You
no
just
brainer.
get it in, yeah. So
You're
no
definitely
mate
getting
straight.
it in.
What happened? He won another hand. Yeah, he's trappy. Didn't bet. Well, yeah, on the left, you like checking down. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, there's no value betting on the
Yeah,
flop.
don't want to get check raised on the flop as a flush draw and weak top pair, weak flush draw.
Right, pretty standard.
Yeah. We got Deller at the table. I wonder why he's full stacked. He's some cap specialist here. I mean, just mark. I guess double suited, but it's too weak. We could actually limp. Maybe nah. Just
Right.
folding. Multi-way flop with too weak flush draws is just too bad.
Yeah. The king 10-9 hand is really close on the flop on that specific board. It's almost a stack just because the cold caller is going to be folding a lot, and some percentage of the time he could have a hand like 7, 9, 10 jack that you're actually ahead of that he
Yeah.
gets it in with, which is good. The button obviously can have a much wider range. He can have way more 5, 6s in his hand and way more two pairs. So you're a little bit more concerned there. If
Yeah.
you had one backdoor flush draw,
We get it in. Yeah.
I'm definitely bet getting it in there. With no backdoor
Yeah.
flush draws, it's pretty
Three.
close.
Yeah. 7-4 tray looks also safer than like say Jack 7, Jack 8. Oh, no, no, no.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like higher card, just
Right.
connect.
Jack 7, 8, the cold caller is gonna have
Yeah. Yeah.
hit
He's got.
really hard a
Yeah.
really high percentage of the
Yeah.
time. That's like exactly the hand that
Yeah. They
you want.
have to pair at least. So it looks like this guy on the left is super active. I mean, we are bet folding this flop, bottom two, nothing else.
Pretty standard.
started pretty well into the session, but have you played? I mean, you must have played No Limit with Delder back then.
Yes. Yeah.
How? I mean, isn't he like probably like second biggest winner on stars at 2550 or something like that of all
I
time,
haven't really looked.
probably.
I haven't played No Limit um in a while in terms of just volume and multi-tabling six-handed games.
Yeah,
But the little I played with him, he's pretty solid and he has a pretty good reputation. So
yeah,
I would tend to believe that if not now, in the near future, he'll pick up PLO pretty quickly.
yeah. He is pretty good in PLO. I mean, especially in cap. I think he doesn't play 100 BB. Omaha, maybe he started it now, but he played cap with me 2550, and he plays even up to 100, 200, 100, 200, and 200, 400.
Right.
So yeah, we figured out that Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook is actually Jason Rosencrantz.
Well, you think that. I don't really see the resemblance, but that's a funny observation.
Yeah, I will find for people who are from Germany in a magazine Spiegel. He looks exactly like Kranz, and I was like, look at this.
I should totally
uh,
do this. So he has a Halloween costume.
yeah, and Zuckerberg means Sugar Mountain, and Rosencrantz is also means something similar. So
Sure
yeah.
loves eating candy.
We are folding there. We are just folding both hands. Like in six max table, if you're out of position from the blinds, what type of hands do you defend? Say against another gun, and does it then change? I mean, it should change, right? If somebody's raising another gun, similar like in No Limit. So if somebody's
Right.
raising another gun, you like sort of fold more from the
Right.
blinds than if he's on a button.
Right. I mean, if the button raises and you have a hand like Ace Queen Jack 5 with a suit to the
So
queen,
three high cards, you definitely defend.
against button for sure you're defending that hand. Against under the gun you're probably just folding because it's going to be dominated a decent percentage of the time and it's not that strong of a hand.
So against under the gun, you probably just only three bet and never just call, given you
You're still
defend
going to call some hands for sure. I mean, if you have
pocket kings,
maybe
shitty king.
right pocket kings with one suit, even aces, rainbow
Yeah,
aces with one
yeah.
suit that aren't too coordinated, you're going to flat there a lot. A hand like 9, 8, 7, 5 with one suit, you can flat for sure. Similar if you move up the ladder, even just like Queen Jack 10, 9, you can definitely flat a hand like that.
Okay.
Um, Lots of hands that you're going to be flatting there still. You don't
So
necessarily have to just take a three bet or fold approach.
yeah. So Queen Jack 10 9, if it's this hand on the right, you can probably also defend. Queen Jack 9 9 against another gun opener, or would that be too loose? We have a suit as well.
It's pretty close. I think this is fine on the button.
Yeah. Given he is somewhat fishy, and we have another fish behind.
Just notice his stack size actually. I'd probably fold this. If he was full stacked, I'm
Okay.
probably gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably
It's not that big of a deal either way.
yeah. Now we flopped pair, open ender, no flush draw. So hopefully,
Hopefully it checks through.
yeah. I mean, I guess we can call one. I don't even know. I guess I'm gonna call and bluff. Maybe bluffing is even a bad option against this guy, given he will never probably fold, so we can't like call and hope to bluff if he checks, if we miss.
Right. Flop, I'm generally folding, but he bets so small that I
Yeah,
think you have to call there.
if you pot, you have to fold because then he's got a super big hand where you have enough equity. Oops, sorry about that. Look at this. I mean, he has it. He doesn't bluff miss spades. But you agree on the river when they snap jam, the fish, they never bluff.
Sorry, it skipped a little bit. I assume he open jammed the river to
Yeah,
fold
he
it.
open jammed the river.
It's close. I'm folding, I think, even though you're
Yeah.
getting such a great price right
Yeah,
there
he's just never
because
bluffing. I don't think you ever.
right. I mean, and the other thing is when he has spades, he's almost always gonna have two pairs, something to go with the spades. It's
So
really
he
uncommon
probably
for him to
gets
have
it in on a
naked or
turn.
naked spades, right? Um, yeah, and if he has two pair, he's just gonna check. He's not gonna bluff with it.
Yeah. On the left. Looks like ace is one. No. Action on the left. You can probably check this hand. So, wow, looks like everybody got it in pre-flop. Raise, 3-bet, 4-bet, call, jam, call, call.
Let's see this one. Open, three bet, four bet, call, jam.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like well, obviously aces play this one
Yeah, ace has got it
correctly.
in against
Um,
pocket kings.
I think the cold I think the cold four bet is fine too with that hand. Let's see how deep they are. Maybe he can get away from it. It looks like no, he's got way too little money.
Yeah.
And odd oddsons play I think is fine too. It might be a fold right there. I think he got lucky with the two specific hands that he's up against, but with
Yeah.
the dangler, that hand is usually overrated by a lot of players. You're probably losing a little bit of money making that call right there.
Yeah. Here we got kings, we got 3-bet, we just aces, we just 4-bet. Given we can get like half the stack in. What if you are deep here? It's like a little bit closer, but I guess this aces you huh. I don't know, 200 big blinds deep and we are opening another gun. It becomes close if you want to 4-bet this or not.
Let's see. How deep are you?
100
About
big.
100
But
big blinds deep.
if you are deep, do you still
If you're
4-bet?
deep, you can flat there some of the time, but I'm generally four betting this all the time.
Yeah.
And you can have a
Even
decent
deep.
chance to miss
Okay.
ace.
Given you have a suit, what if you don't have a suit? You're still 4-betting?
Without a suit, I'm still four betting 100 big blinds deep, but I'm way more likely to call if
200.
if you're 200 big blinds deep in that spot
Yeah.
because there aren't too many flops that you're happy to just bet call.
Right. On the right, I was getting like I don't know, 1-4 or something on a call pre-flop, so I guess it's fine to call. It's probably too a bit loose, but I guess it's fine. He flopped the nuts, I led, he called, and that sucks. Given the
Right.
board
I'm usually
pair.
folding. I'm usually gonna fold this hand pre-flop. It's just not that good.
Okay, yeah. Wow, now everything got there, so this is super crappy now. If he bets. Look at this. I mean, he called the flop, so it's either it's not a straight. We have two sixes, and he's not betting a straight now. And the turn pairs the board, so he's got a boat, and we lose to on the river. He's got bigger flush. We lose to, so we have to fold.
Right. There isn't
Yeah,
too much that you're beating in this spot. You could think about check
jam.
raising there, but I think he can have some boats in his range there too.
Yeah,
Like a
this is a
weak boat that he
problem.
decided to pocket control. He could have
Or he
quads or something
figured we
like
are
that.
check folding, so you check behind.
Right. Maybe he checked behind with even just 5-3, thinking that maybe he has a flush draw, let him catch up, and then I
Yeah,
can get more
yeah.
value on the river.
It's the same situation on the right now. I mean, we are all again getting like 1-4. So, with two fish, I guess it's still it is marginal, but I mean, if you have two weak players, it's probably close.
Right. It's pretty marginal. You can call that hand though.
Yeah, Delner bet small.
Against good players, I'm not going to be
No,
playing this
I'm
hand.
not calling against good players. Nah, we can raise the left. It's also five-handed, I guess. Do you raise this under the gun every time?
You could consider limping, but I'm
Yeah,
usually just gonna raise this because if I get three bet, this is good enough that you can defend pretty
yeah. Full
comfortably.
full rank, you limp under the gun, hands like this, right?
Full ring, yeah, you can limp this hand. I'm still just gonna raise. It's coordinated. You have queens. You have one suit.
Right. Check folding the flop.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't think he's gonna believe too much. Plus, he
Especially
can.
against this guy, he's
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
like a maniac.
yeah. On the right, we just three bet. Oh, we got.
Yeah, these are aces that you could definitely flat also because they're not that strong.
Yeah, against him or against a fishy guy, you like sort of have too much edge. And the flop, the question, I mean, we flopped super, very good. We're just gonna bet like, hmm, guess like, I mean, he's still gonna call a big bet often enough. So I think we should bet bigger and not give him too good of odds with like 7, 6, 8 or something. On the left, I guess we could three bet. Yeah, we're gonna three bet. I don't know. It is. Do you think it's what do you prefer? Ace, king, queen, jack, or ace, king, queen, queen?
They're probably about equivalent. I think the ace, king, queen, queen is going to be a little bit stronger.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is a flop that is like trouble flop for me. I think betting is the way to go. I guess against super difficult players, they can bluff raise you so good here, given they're like if he makes it to 80, he's getting such a good price on the bluff. And I mean, I don't have too many sevens in my range. And he can have like, I mean, he can have a seventh so easily. I mean, he pots it, so yeah, he's not potting 8, 9. He's just calling, give me, he's getting such a good price. So I guess it's a fold. That was my plan.
Right. I like how you play that. I would play it the same.
So against super tough players, what's the plan on the flop? Still bet fold and hope you can balance it with having a seven sometimes in your range.
You can mix it up, and yeah, you're gonna have a seven sometimes. Other times you might decide to call one or call down because he's only gonna flop trips about 18% of the time there. So depending on how much someone's bluff raising you there, they're gonna be bluffing sometime.
Yeah,
Um, that's just obviously gonna depend on notes and prior experience that you have with the player. Um, I don't really like checking that board too much because there are a bunch of cards that put a straight out. If the board was, let's say, 10, 4, 4, or something like that, it's a little bit better of a spot to check. Um, but even then, you can usually just bet one street for value because if they have a 10, they might peel once.
yeah. On if you have like kings with eight, king, 8, 9, you get it in.
King,
Uh,
King, 8, 9, I get it in, even though he's really tight right there. And the reason for
yeah,
that is if he has something like 6, 8, 9, or Jack 8, 9, he might just decide to pot raise in that spot. And I think he's also less likely to be full when he pot raises there. He's way more likely to have either a wrap or just trips. So your outs are going to be clean a higher percentage of the time.
yeah,
So it's definitely another consideration there when he pot raises as opposed to making it like 300. If he makes it 300, you're still going to go with King, King, 8, 9 just because now he can be bluffing some percentage of the time.
yeah. Here on the left, I bluff raised the flop with some equity, given he bets so small. I just don't believe in betting small. Um, on this type of flop. And if
I think
he,
I think that's fine. There are a lot of turn cards that
yeah,
are
we can
here
bluff.
too.
Now, like, I mean, we turns nuts, and I guess we like, I don't know, like if it really matters to be balanced here and bet small, do we really have to do it? Maybe we just never bluff in this spot. This is what Magic Ninja said. He said if you never bluff in this spot, you can just pot. But I feel like he folds if he pot. And he doesn't have a flush draw as a big hand anyway, so like, uh, I'm just gonna bet 280. I'm not
That's a good
sure.
play.
Maybe potting is
You're
best.
No, I think this is better. You're definitely going to be bluffing that card a good amount of the time. He
Yeah,
folds a lot on that card.
we never pot fold, right? So we can. pot. You can 280 fold, so it's better. On the right, I mean, you check call the flop. Huh. Can have a flush draw. I mean, he probably folds a flush draw, so let me just check back. I don't know if he folds a flush draw given Deller is behind to act on the flop. He might have like a pair with a flush draw, I guess, like queens, which so he
Right,
can
that's his most
barrel.
likely hand usually.
Yeah. So you barrel the turn.
I would usually barrel the turn. You have equity,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think he's gonna have trips that often. And even if he does, you still have equity against it.
Yeah, so is there any merit in saying I want to check and like realize my equity we also had a gut shot, or do you just prefer betting given you don't have to worry about getting check raised too much on a turn. You probably never get check raised. How often do you think you're really getting check raised on a turn?
Pretty
Like
rarely.
never. Yeah.
I wouldn't say never. I mean, he can still have trip nines because it was a three-way pot on the flop.
Yeah.
And you did bet pretty small right there.
Yeah.
But if he has trip nines with either hearts or clubs, he can definitely check raise it.
Yeah.
He can also have something like Jack 10 9 deuce.
So probably just betting turn, betting any river is just the way to go.
Yeah, that's probably how I'd play it. You might have to slow down on a heart
Yeah.
on the river.
Yeah, given you
Probably
can.
bet any river other than the heart. Do you want to play around to the
Yeah.
blinds and then call it a
Looks like
day?
left table is
Breaking anyway.
yeah. Bamboo. No, no, but anything about him. Yep. So we actually finished on both tables.
Yep. This is going to be it for episode 6. If you guys have any questions, post them in the video thread and we'll respond to them. And tune in next week for episode 7.
Good luck, guys.